Few things I want to make mention of today in this video, things that you can say are being shown to us from Allah Azza wa Jal as a fulfillment of the coming of the Mahdi. You can say it that way because wallahi, what else you can say, especially as a Muslim who is following the hadith and the signs of the coming of the Mahdi. We can all say, whoever believe in the hadith, the end of time, that the topics that I'll be discussing, they are the fulfillment of the coming of the Mahdi. Now, I want to talk a few things. Number one, let's start with what is happening between Russia and the West. Believe it or not, as I said, and I mean a lot of us, we have said this before, that the end of time will not take place until we will have a WW3. And that WW3 is becoming more and more likely each day. Unfortunate, but happening. How this is happening? If you read the news, it came in the news today. Okay, it came in the news today. I'm not talking about yesterday or a week ago, or even yesterday or 2 days ago. This came in the news today that U.S. officials, military officials, they are now confirmed. They're very, very confirmed. They're very, very This is what you get if you are here on top of the roof. We always have this, loud noise pollution. This army official, he said that Russia, they are not planning short-term war. They are in fact planning long-term, and that will include more war, more escalation, and eventually more countries to be invaded by Russia. We have seen, actually I have seen yesterday, the Finnish, I believe he's a minister or somebody who works for the government. He said Finland is getting ready. Finland is getting ready. We know Sweden, Denmark, some of these Scandinavian countries and Baltic nations, they are now thinking of joining NATO. But Finland, they kept a little bit of distance from joining NATO for all this time, simply because Finland, they have a strong military compared to other European countries. Finland, they are very, very strong. And this is why they do not want to associate with NATO, depend on them, and get financial help from them. Saif Al-Ansari, hi. Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum salam. So Russia, the US military, they are saying Russia, they are not done with this war. It is in fact just the beginning of a major and more escalation in the coming weeks, months, and years. When we talk about the coming of the Mahdi, as I said, we have to have a world where there will be no technology and everything will be wiped out. Starlink, SpaceX, Elon Musk, all of these people will be gone. Their technology will be gone. People maybe they will remain. I mean, Elon Musk, I think he can have a protection capsule if there is a WW3 where nuclear weapon will do nothing to him. He can do that with billionaire. He may remain, but the technology he has, we have seen Russian hackers. They hacked into a Starlink system and they disrupted internet. In Europe, there was a blackout in Europe, and that happened because of Russian hackers. Well, the thing is, when WW3 will happen, with all the nuclear weapon and whatnot, when they will be exploded, you can imagine all of these things will be gone. Weaponry, tanks, machine gun, even the basic stuff they use right now in today's warfare, this will be gone too, simply because of the nuclear weapon. So this is number one sign, brothers and sisters, and this is the biggest sign that the coming of the Mahdi and the signs are being fulfilled every single day. We will eventually see WW3. We will eventually see the world fighting with swords and horses. And this is, subhanAllah, a prophecy that was interpreted by many scholars, saying that when the Prophet he referred that the Muslims at the end of time will be using horses and swords, they said the hadith, if we take that literally, it would mean that modern world, the technology that we have today will be gone. And this is where we're heading to. This is how the hadith will be fulfilled. Number two, the sign of Mahdi being fulfilled is what I have read in the news yesterday again. I read it yesterday and I was, wallahi, I was very, very surprised, but I was not shocked, to be honest with you. I was not shocked. I was surprised, but not shocked. And the news was, in Canada, you know, the weather expert, they're now saying that in the coming months and years, Canada will see, and this is the phenomenon in every country, even in Bangladesh right now where I am, you know, I can still, right now as I speak to you, I can actually see the raindrops. Canadian scientists, they said that coming months and weeks and years, we will see a lot of rain from the sky. The reason for that, they said, is because of the global warming. You know, the weather is changing. However, what they did say also at the same time is that even though we'll get a lot of rain, but we do not know how the future will look like. Means what this rain will bring, we do not know. Would this rain bring flood, more flood, making our life miserable? Or would this actually help? We do not know. They say it's very, very unpredictable. And how much rain we'll get? Why this, rain will just have this downpour and will not have any idea why this is happening. All of a sudden there's going to be rain. And the reason for that is because they said the temperature will become hotter every day from now on because of the global warming. And because the hot temperature, they hold more moisture in the air, it will have more rain. Subhanallah. Rasulullah, he prophesied about Saudi Arabia, the Arabian countries. لا تقوم الساعة حتى تودى الأرض مروجا وأنهارا. He said, لا تقوم الساعة حتى تودى الأرض مروجا وأنهارا. The hour will not be established until the land of the Arabs will become, luscious green garden, and there will be a lot of water. He prophesied about Arab countries. He did not talk about Canada. But subhanallah, even in Canada, they will see this. Obviously right now, Canada has a lot of luscious garden. They have a lot of spring. Canada doesn't have any problem with, water supply. But in Saudi Arabia, because it's a desert, you do not expect to have a lot of water there, right? So the Prophet said this is how it will become. The land of the Arabs will turn again to becoming a land of luscious garden. You see a lot of greenery, you see a lot of vegetation, you see a lot of spring, you see a lot of water. It's going to be completely different. And this is what the prophecy was. So I was reading this news article yesterday, and I was reading and I'm like, subhanallah, look, even scientists today, they are talking about this rainwater, right? The rain that will drop from the sky, and they do not know what this rain will do. What the rain will do is what we find in another hadith. Rasulullah said, لا تقوم الساعة حتى يمطر الناس مطرا عاما ولن تموت الأرض شيئا. Rasulullah said that the hour will not establish until we'll have a lot of rain, but nothing will grow from it. So if Canadian scientists, American scientists, any scientists looking into the end of time, wallahi, they need to read hadith. They need to read hadith more than anybody else. Wallahi, I can promise you they will be benefited. They will know exactly what will happen. The hadith, it talks clearly about global warming, how things will change. So that is another sign that is being fulfilled. And subhanAllah, it's not just case with Canada. It is happening in South Africa, in India, a lot of flooding. Even in country like Bangladesh, we get a lot of flood. The new thing about this is that this flood, they were not a global phenomenon. Like people, their houses are being damaged, are being swept away. Wasn't a global phenomenon. Yes, it would happen in a country, in a particular country. Could be in China, could be in India, or could be in Bangladesh. But that's about it. Right now, it is happening, and it can happen anywhere, anytime in the world. If you go to Canada right now, they have a lot of flood. A lot of flood. Wallahi, Canada, I mean, I'm from Canada. I see on the news, Wa alaikum assalam, brother Amir. I can see in the news that Canada is being flooded because of the snow melting, too much snow. Again, too much snow. And now they also have a lot of rain. And people are very, very frustrated. One guy, I saw it in the news, he was like, what is rain, what to do, man? Have never seen this before in my life. Okay, write down this sentence, okay, and quote me all the time. You will see most of the time these days, whenever you see people are being affected by weather, they will always say, I've never seen something like this ever in my life. I hear this sentence, this, frustration coming from people all the time. I have never seen like this, man. I'm 60 years old, I'm 80 years old, I'm 90 years old. I've never seen something like this. What is this? Why? Is because, dear sisters, it is the sign, the alamat of the Sa'ah. Number 3 thing that I also want to talk to you about, the signs, about the coming of the Mahdi, the end of time, that are being fulfilled, is what happened I actually posted this video yesterday, I believe. And this video was, okay, let me show you the sky here so you can take a look. See this? You see this sky here? Okay. But, the sky is cloudy. We have a lot of rain here. In China, again, I posted this video. In China, they have this red blood or bloody sky. And that is not the sign. That's not even close. I mean, the sky is red. Who cares? It happens all the time. Even in Bangladesh, I have seen. Even in Canada, sky turning red. It's no big deal. But the big deal is this. The big deal is this. People in China, when they saw the red sky, they shouted, they screamed, they said, Armageddon, Armageddon. What we say in Arabic, malhama. So basically, the red sign, the red sky, for them represented some kind of blood, I guess. And so when they saw the blood in the sky, they were like, oh, the great battle is coming. Chinese, they are very familiar with malhama, perhaps more familiar than Muslims. I have seen a video where this Chinese expert, who is expertise in international politics and warfare and whatnot, he said that China, if they're attacked, there will be an Armageddon. He said that he used that word a few times. And now that I have seen this video, red sky and whatnot, it is now ringing my bell, and I'm getting even more convinced that Chinese people, there is no doubt about this. They know there will be a malhama. They know there will be a malhama. Chinese, a lot of them are atheists. They don't believe in God. People who believe in God in China How they would know in the world about malhama? Wallahi, like, but they do. But they do. And they talk about this. Um, and the last people you would imagine who would use the word Armageddon is the Chinese. Yeah, there are a lot of Christians in the Bible and they understand Malhama, end of time. But majority of the Chinese people, I mean, they are so busy with their own life, building their own country, um, and they talk about Malhama, Armageddon. So when I was seeing this phenomenon that people are shouting, "Oh, Malhama, Red Sky, Armageddon," um, I mean, Subhanallah, even they are preparing, or at least talking about end of time, that it is going to happen. The great battle, Malhamatul Kubra, is inevitable. Okay, Al-Waqiyah. Allah said in the Quran about Qiyamah. Remember the Surah Al-Waqiyah, the inevitable. What does it mean? The inevitable. Malhama is inevitable. I cannot ignore. It is something destined to happen. And so, coming of the Mahdi, how this will be fulfilled, as we know that the army, under the leadership of the Western countries like Russia or US, or maybe some other countries from Europe, UK, France, they will all gather together. They will all gather together, and they will try to attack who? The Mahdi. The Mahdi. Because again, as I said, the Mahdi will not appear until there is going to be a third world war where this technology that we know today will be gone. Once that happens, Mahdi comes, Mahdi rules with the Muslims following him. The whole world will be very chaotic at that time. Nobody will know what to do. All of a sudden, people will go back to their religion. Today, in the West, predominantly, people are atheists, secular liberals. They do not practice any religion. Most people in the West that I have met, they are godless. They don't believe in God. One lady from the post office I was talking to the other day, they're very, very intelligent people. But they say, well, what is God? I've never experienced God in my life. And so I tried to tell her, but she doesn't believe in God because she said, I never experienced what God is. How can I tell her about, how can I prove her Allah exists? Bring her Allah from the sky and show it to her. That's exactly what they want. But we know, Quran said, even if you do that, they're not going to believe. وَإِن يَرَوْا كِسْفًا مِنَ السَّمَاءِ سَاقِطًا يَقُولُ سَحَابٌ مَرْكُومٌ. Even if you bring a piece of the cloud from the sky, and you give it to them and say, God exists. Can you imagine piece of cloud? If you go up in the sky and bring them a piece of it, you bring them a piece of it, they will still deny Allah Azza wa Jalla. So people are, very secular. They are very liberal. They are atheists. But when the Mahdi will be here, everybody will go back to their own gods. Christianity will uphold their cross. The Yahudi will stick to their religion, and the Muslims will also find the Mahdi. I mean, of course, you have to be guided to follow the Mahdi, but the Muslims will have no other choice but to go back to the religion. And the Mahdi, the end of time, is here. The Muslims who will follow Dajjal, at the same time, during his time, will go astray. Just like today, a lot of Muslims, unfortunately, they are not practicing Islam. They are not interested in Islam. But the point here is that this secular liberalism will be gone, and people will go back to their religion, and that's only how there will be a malhama, because people will be fight over matters with their religion. And I said about Putin, Vladimir Putin, why he's dangerous. I said this many times. People disagree with me. Many sheikh, they support Putin. The Putin is good. Putin is noble. Look, he's upholding religious values. Yeah, I don't agree. I don't agree. Okay, I don't disagree with all of these claims. Yeah, Putin is good. In terms of Christianity, he's the best. For the Christian, he is really the good guy. Jazakallah khair. Do you what? Inshallah. So, let's talk about Putin. I said, I don't disagree. Yeah, Putin is a great guy, but not for us. He's the best guy for the who? The Orthodox Christianity. Mainstream Christian in the West, they follow Catholicism and Protestants. They don't follow Orthodox Christianity. Orthodox Christianity, they try to simplify the message as much as possible. This is what Orthodox Christianity they do. Putin follows Orthodox Christianity, and he does believe that his country, the Russian Empire, which was the third largest in the human history, after the Mongols, after the British Empire, the Russian Empire was the third largest. He does believe the Russian Empire must come back to power and rule over as many people as possible. Right now, he cannot dream of ruling over the whole world because Russia is not a prosperous country in terms of money. Financial situation is not good. But they know that Russian Empire must be the dominant one. And that means Muslims, Yahudi, everybody will have to follow Russian version of Christianity. If you don't follow, fine, you can be still a Muslim, but you have to be under our control. Okay, we will do whatever we want. How many times in the human history Christians they have fought against the Muslims? How many times? Many times. If Russia does rule over Muslim population and they become the dominant force, they will subjugate these Muslims. And they will tell the Muslims, we are your leader, we are your boss, and you are our subject, you have to follow us. This is what Putin wants to accomplish, pretty much. Inshallah, so these are the signs that I want to talk to you guys about. I will reply to your comment, leave a comment, inshallah. New here, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.